Welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And filling in for Terry Stiles, I'm Julie Hogan. A local woman drowns in a residential swimming pool, and why some local school parents and kids are no longer stressed over school supplies.
Stay tuned. Learn more about these stories and others. The Oxford News begins right now. A 49-year-old Oxford Township woman was found lifeless in a swimming pool at about 8 p.m. Sunday evening. Susan Meadow was found by her boyfriend when he went to check on her in the swimming pool. Attempts by the boyfriend and Oxford firefighters to revive her failed. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Police believe contributing factors to the woman's death may include alcohol and prescription drug abuse. Pending toxicology reports, Meadow's death remains under investigation.
It's back to school again, in a time when parents have to purchase clothes, backpacks, and school supplies for their kids. And it's actually a particularly difficult time of year for those families who could use a little financial help. But last week, volunteers representing Oxford Orion Fish, a local nonprofit organization, were able to brighten the faces of parents and children by reducing their financial stress. The organization handed out 200 backpacks, complete with school supplies. Many receiving the gifts expressed relief that they can now purchase shoes and clothing for their children with money that would have been used for supplies.
Guess what? Believe it or not, Christmas isn't that far away. And Oxford Chamber of Commerce Director Nicole Sturrett is encouraging local Oxford children to put their Yuletide thinking caps on to enter the 2015 Christmas Parade theme contest. After all, Christmas is all about kids, so why shouldn't they have a voice? For more information on how your child can get involved, go to the Chamber of Commerce website at oxfordchamber.net or fill out an application located in the Leader newspaper and drop it off at the Chamber office located at 22 West Burdick Street in Oxford.
Most people are aware that police have a very dangerous job, but did you know the number one concern that most road patrol officers have while performing their jobs? You would think it would be getting shot by some nutcase, and although that might be a concern, it's not. Lieutenant Peterson from the Oakland County Sheriff's Office told our OCTV reporter that most road officers are concerned about getting run down by motorists while giving roadside traffic tickets or giving instructions to roadside motorists. It was only 1 week after our OCTV reporter's discussion with Lieutenant Peterson that a Michigan State police trooper was hit and dragged under a trailer for about 4 miles prior to the vehicle coming to a stop at a rest area. The officer was unfortunately declared dead at the scene. He leaves a wife and a young family. The Sheriff's Department recommends when passing an officer parked on the side of the road, if possible, on a multi-lane road, try to change lanes right away from the officer's vehicle and slow down. If you can't change lanes, slow your vehicle to a safe passing speed. If the officer is a motorcycle patrolman, give him or her lots of room when passing or following the cycle. It's actually the law, and by following it, you can help ensure those officers get home safe to their families.
A woman living on Lafayette Street in Oxford phoned village police and told officers she heard a next-door male and female yelling at each other, and she believed the male was heard crying. When police went to investigate, the man told officers he was crying because his wife sideswiped his prized automobile. I guess that would make any man cry. But since no physical altercation took place, officers advised the principals to better control their emotions.
Oakland County Sheriff's deputies were sent to a location on Gill Street in Oxford on a report that a man living there was wanted under a warrant issued by district court. Officers went to the man's home, and when he answered the door, he was arrested and taken to the Oakland County Jail without incident.
Sheriff's deputies from the Oxford substation were sent to a local home on an identity theft complaint. Upon arrival, they met a woman who stated that her checking account was charged $219 through PayPal. She said someone used her PayPal account to buy a book at Colorado Christian University bookstore. The book was sent to an address at Bakersfield, California. The woman said she didn't buy the book or authorize anyone to use her account. She noted that the bookstore had refunded her money. The woman was advised to tell her bank of the issue and to contact PayPal.
Sheriff's deputies were called to Seymour Lake Road on a stolen vehicle complaint. The resident told officers his Camaro was missing. Although the car's owner did not see who had stolen the vehicle, he told police he thought the car was taken by his next-door neighbor's son. When officers went to interview the neighbor's son, they were told by the father that when the son saw police, he bolted from the home. Later in the day, officers were made aware of the son had returned to his home. When interviewed by police, the son told them he ran because he thought they were after him for a parole violation. The young man told police he did not take the car. The owner of the car has put an OnStar trace on the vehicle to find its location. The vehicle has been listed on the stolen vehicle computer file, and the case remains open.
Another call to Oakland County deputies about a stolen car sent officers to East Peninsula Court in Oxford. The resident told officers at first she thought friends were playing a prank on her by hiding her car. When she confronted her friends, she realized the car was stolen. She told police she left the car keys on a table on the porch when she went into the house to recharge her cell phone. The case continues under investigation by the Auto Theft Department. Well, you don't want to leave your keys in the car, do you, Jill?
There's a lot of cars missing around here. Whatever happened to that low jack situation? Remember, everybody had a low jack on their car. Apparently, that's kind of gone by the wayside.
I don't know, but let's talk about what goes on.
They might
As
want
far
to
as-
get back with that program, right? It's like, geez.
There's some pet peeves out there that I kind of have.
Yeah.
And a couple I have is people running red lights. You ever drive down the road and you see the light change, and actually there's plenty of time for the person to stop and they run it anyway.
I fortunately haven't run into that problem. My pet peeve is all the construction barrels everywhere, and you got the guy that's coming in out of left field just last minute, merging in, jumping in front of me. Ooh,
What's with that?
I don't know.
Do they let them in?
They do.
usually do.
And
Maybe
I guess we should be happy there's a lot of nice people out there, right, at the end of the day. But there's also a few that you'd like to, bat over the head there once or twice. So.
Well, maybe they do it
Anyway.
because they can.
Well, exactly, because there's too many nice people out there. I don't
Right.
know. But again, I guess it's not a bad problem to have, right?
But if you do that, you got to watch out for road rage.
No, that's true.
Yeah, there are-
You're not guilty of that at all.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Now, my wife, she could be.
Yeah. Yes, I know her personally, and that could be a problem. Anyway, that's Oxford News this week. If you want to learn more about these stories and others, stop by your local store and pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper. Or better yet, catch us right here on OCTV Charter 191 and AT&T Channel 99.
And coming up next on OCTV, Oxford Sports with Jamie Hughes. And after that, catch Oxford School News with John Ochins. Then join us with Auto Talk and Science in the News with Dave Kenny.
And I'm Julie Hogan. This is Oxford News This Week, where we bring your news closer to home.
And I'm Elgin Nichols. Remember, always be kind to your friends and neighbors. And thanks for watching.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, now we know where New Horizons is off to next. Fresh from July's flyby of Pluto, NASA has chosen a target for the spacecraft to pass on its way out of the solar system. The object, named 2014 MU-69, is estimated to be between 25 and 45 kilometers across. Its actual size depends on how reflective its surface is. Right now, astronomers can only tell how much sunlight it reflects, so it could either be small and shiny or large and dull. The team hopes its surface will provide a pristine record of the composition of the outer reaches of the solar system, the Kuiper Belt it shares with Pluto and other icy bodies. It's a good candidate for preserving the Kuiper Belt's history because it's too small to have been reshaped by geological processes and far enough from the sun to have maintained its original makeup. 2014 MU-69 is about 200 million times fainter than we can see with our naked eyes, so it took almost 2 weeks of observation with the Hubble Space Telescope to find it last June. If the extra trip is approved, the spacecraft will start burning fuel in October and November of this year, en route to an expected flyby on January 1st, 2019. Happy New Year. And back on Earth, a reservoir of water 3 times the volume of all the oceans in the world has been discovered deep beneath the Earth's surface. The finding could help explain where Earth's seas came from. The water is hidden inside a blue rock called ringwoodite that lies 700 kilometers underground in the mantle, the layer of hot rock between Earth's surface and its core. The huge size of the reservoir throws new light on the origin of Earth's water. Some geologists think water arrived in comets as they struck the planet, but the new discovery supports an alternative idea that the oceans gradually oozed out of the interior of the early Earth. It's good evidence the Earth's water came from within, says Stephen Jacobson of Northwestern University. The hidden water could also act as a buffer for the oceans on the surface, explaining why they have stayed the same size for millions of years. Jacobson's team used 2,000 seismometers to study the seismic wave generated by more than 500 earthquakes. These waves move throughout the Earth's interior, including the core, and can be detected at the surface. They make the Earth ring like a bell for days afterwards, says Jacobson. So far, Jacobson has only evidence that the watery rock sits beneath the U.S. Now he wants to find out if it wraps around the entire planet. Good work for him. And listen to this. Take crop leek and garlic of both equal quantities, pound them well together. Take wine and bullock's gall, mix with the leek, let it stand 9 days in the brass vessel. Well, so goes a 1,000-year-old Anglo-Saxon recipe to vanquish a sty of an infected eyelash follicle. The medieval medics might have been onto something else. A modern-day recreation of this remedy seems to alleviate infections caused by the bacteria that are usually responsible for styes. The work might ultimately create drugs for hard-to-treat skin infections. The project was born when Freya Harrison, a microbiologist at the University of Nottingham, got her talking to Christina Lee, an Anglo-Saxon scholar. They decided to test a recipe from an Old English medical compendium called Ball's Leech Book, housed in the British Library. Some of the ingredients, such as copper from the brass vessel, killed bacteria grown in a dish, but it was unknown if they would work on a real infection or how they would combine. As brass vessels would be hard to sterilize and expensive, they used glass bottles with squares of brass sheet immersed in the mixture. Bullock's gall was easy, though, as cow's bile salts are sold as a supplement for people who have had their gallbladders removed. After 9 days of stewing, this potion had killed all the soil bacteria introduced by the leek and garlic. It was self-sterilizing, said Harrison, and that was the first inkling that this crazy idea might have some use. The potion was tested on scraps of skin taken from mice infected with methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. This is an antibiotic-resistant version of the bacteria that causes styes, more commonly known as the hospital superbug, MRSA. The potion killed 90% of the bacteria. Vancomycin, the antibiotic generally used for MRSA, killed about the same proportion when it was added to the skin scraps. Unexpectedly, the ingredients had little effect unless they were all brought together. The big challenge is to find out why that combination works, says Steve Diggle, another of the researchers. Do the components work in synergy, or do they trigger the formation of new potent compounds? Using exactly the right method also seems to be crucial, says Harrison, as another group tried to recreate the remedy in 2005 and found that their potion failed to kill bacteria grown in the dish. If the 9th century recipe does lead to new drugs, they might be useful in treating MRSA skin infections such as those that cause foot ulcers in people with diabetes. These are usually antibiotic resistant, says Dickel. However, he doesn't recommend people try this at home, so be forewarned. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back after this.
I'm John Ochins, and welcome to the Oxford Wildcat School Update. As our kids and teachers return for their first week of classes, and our new superintendent begins his first year in that post, I thought I would pay Tim Throne a visit and chat about what lies ahead. Here's how it began.
Maybe the biggest message that I want to make sure that I get across to our Wildcat family is that we are really a team. And I sort of coined this phrase Team O for Team Oxford. And why that's important is I think maybe this past year in particular, we've seen times when if we are not all on the same team, how quickly we can become fractured. And so that's going to be one of my main points when I address all of our employees when they come back for their welcome back breakfast on Thursday.
I asked him about some of the new things we can expect.
We are introducing some new tools. So it could be Illuminate, which is our new assessment program. Those types of tools, that's what's going to be new for our staff. The students will be introduced to them because at some portions the students will be utilizing those applications, but for the general public, probably most of the changes will not be out front and center. It'll be stuff that happens in the background.
He reminds us of our biggest competitor.
I still come back to this, John. I think our biggest competition is ourselves.
Right.
And if we allow ourselves to not be a team, to not support and value one another, that's what we're going to be in trouble. And
don't forget, change is a constant thing.
As of yesterday, we were adding some more sections, both at the high school and some early kindergarten classrooms, adding another position. I mean, it is just not only daily, but hourly, things are changing. And so we want our people to know, we want our community to know that, we're making the best decisions possible for our students and the community.
This is also the year of the strategic plan.
Strategic plan is going to be a part of this year. And again, I think that's not only defining what our values are of how we want to work and play, but I don't know, I'll just say probably the biggest component of that strategic plan is defining student achievement. We know we want student achievement to go up, but how does that look for us? Is it just one score? Is it a multiple of scores? Is it test scores as well as other behaviors that we're looking for? And so those are tough questions. It doesn't mean that they're not really good questions. It just means that there's not easy answers.
Also this year, there's an accreditation evaluation.
We are being reviewed by Advanced Ed this year, which is our accreditation. And so we will be having a visiting team come in, I believe in January, and they will basically look at how we have, how we've performed, what we have written into our school improvement and district improvement plans, what our plans are going forward, and basically how we're holding ourselves accountable to that. And so the whole Advanced Ed piece is going to be a big component this year.
It was orientation time for the international students last week. We have over 70 kids joining us this year, most from China and Germany. Stephen Tong is one of them. I asked him how he felt about all this.
I feel a little bit nervous, but it's not a problem. Like, I have been to America 2 times, and I know the culture, and right down here, as a student, I feel everything's good. And I like play sports, they have sports team, and I can join. So almost everything I want, they already have, so I don't have to worry about it.
We'll follow up with the directors of that program next week to see how it's all coming together. That's the Oxford School News for this week. This is Oxford Community Television, keeping it local.
Have you liked us on Facebook yet? If not, what are you waiting for? Just go to your Facebook page, go to the search bar, and type in Oxford Community Television.
And welcome back to Oxford News This Week, time for Oxford Sports. Oxford football coach Bud Rowley understands football is partly a game of overcoming adversity. And after a 47-0 drubbing by Romeo last Thursday, Rowley huddled first with his players and then told them to get back to work and prepare for Friday's contest against Stony Creek. He then huddled with his coaches and stressed the need for coaching and hard work to make the Wildcats competitive in the upcoming season. The difficulty for the coaches and players is the Wildcats are largely inexperienced. Only one of the starters on defense returned this season, and the offensive backfield are first-year starters. Well, Oxford may not be a team that many are really worried about on the volleyball court. Head coach Latoria Thomas says her team is to be reckoned with. With a 9-3 record start, Thomas is pleased on her team's performance. Thomas, who is originally from Alabama, played volleyball from 8th grade all the way through high school as well as 3 years in college. She came to Michigan in 2012. Prior to coming to Oxford, she was the junior varsity volleyball coach and assistant varsity volleyball coach at Waterford Mott High School. She also coached Travel League. She is currently a paraprofessional at Waterford Mott. Oxford can expect the golf team to work hard and improve scores from last year because of a renewed dedication to the team and practice, according to the Oxford girls varsity head coach Gretchen Gabler. Returning to the varsity team this season, Emily Zalesko and junior Mackenzie Chasson. As the captains in their most recent match against Farmington won at 188-204, Chasson led with a score of 43, followed by sophomore Lauren Yankee 45, who also carded her first eagle on par 4, number 11. Megan Mancini scored 49. Zalesko scored 51. The girls' next match will be on Friday at Glen Oaks Park in Farmington. That contest takes place on September 11th. Tom Brady is vindicated. The 4-game suspension was lifted, and he'll be ready to play. He may be, after reporting a strain in the relationship with the NFL, according to that, as in the opening night of the NFL season couldn't be any bigger. The NBC Peacock may be flexing its wings. NFL poster boy is ready to play and likely will have more viewers due to the controversy due to Deflategate. Thursday, the victory motivated Brady at playing on opening night and beating the NFL in the courtroom. It's too intriguing to ignore, according to all football fans. NFL itself, well, the judge took away Roger Goodell's power to discipline. I actually applaud Mr. Goodell and NFL for not brushing this under the carpet. In the book Physics to Football, written by Timothy Gay, Bill Belichick writes an opening about physics. For someone who's such an integral part of the game, it doesn't take a genius to understand a ball that has been deflated. If Tom Brady couldn't feel this, the Patriots need to find another man at the helm, as his motor skills may be failing as well. As for a lesson it may teach by reducing the penalty of the 4-game suspension, I guess the judge is saying it's okay to cheat. I think the NFL taking this head-on was a responsible thing to do. My suggestion to Coach Bill Belichick, take another physics class. As for Tom Brady, your inability to take the suspension only shows one thing: you're no role model to be followed. Do I have an opinion on this? No. Just me blowing hot air, I guess. Oh well, good luck with the Patriots contest coming up on opening day. Keeping up with the schedules and local news in Oxford sports, it's at your fingertips. It's oxfordathletics.org. Check it out. You'll find out where your athletes have to be, when the contests are, and how long they are. Check it out again, oxfordathletics.org. It's a great resource for anybody with an athlete in the Oxford system. Just a reminder, programs here on OCTV can be easily viewed online. Your personal device, go to OCCTV.org, hit the Programs tab, hit YouTube. You can watch it on your iPad, computer, or your phone. Or if you want to watch it conventionally, we air our programs, our sporting programs, between 1 and 6 on Saturday and Sundays. That's at OCTV on channel 99 on AT&T UVerse, and of course 191 on Charter. Again, take care of yourselves. That wraps it for sports this week. Hope you have a great week. Go Wildcats.
Hi everybody, I'm Terry Stiles.
And I'm Bill Service. I'm the producer of our Community Access. For nearly 10 years, Terry and I have been bringing our Community Access into your living rooms to keep you informed about what's happening in our communities.
We've all had great fun at our community events such as Lone Ranger and Strawberry Festivals.
We brought you natural wonders such as bees and ceremonies to bless them.
We've kept you informed of election issues and how your votes affect all of us.
And we've told you about our local artists' important fundraisers that help the ones you love.
We've helped you get to know our new business neighbors and much, much more.
But we're not done yet. There's much more we plan to cover, so watch us weekdays on Charter Channel 191 and AT&T Channel 99 at 9:30, at 1, then at 7 o'clock, and Saturday at 9:30.
See you there.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, the first customers who reserved Tesla's Model X all-electric SUV have been alerted that at long last they can choose their paint color, wheel size, and whether they want to drive ludicrously fast. The start of configuration is a sign that production is on track. CEO Elon Musk has said that the first to place orders would be able to start individualizing their vehicles before the end of August, so deliveries can start by the end of September. Overnight, the privately run Tesla Motors Club forum lit up with signature reservation holders sharing screenshots of their configuration dashboards. Tesla confirmed September 1st that signature holders can begin making choices such as among 9 paint colors, including signature red, deep blue, and titanium. Features like the ludicrous speed upgrade is $10,000 extra. This is an important step for Tesla to show it is not a one-trick show when it comes to developing a car from start to finish, said Ben Kahlo, an analyst with Robert W. Baird Company. It will also be great for brand awareness to have 2 cars on the road. Good to see that there will be a ski and bike rack hitch, as well as sensors to allow the Falcon Wing doors to open in garages, he said. The Model X Signature Edition will have a 90 kilowatt-hour battery and a U.S. government estimated range of 240 miles per gallon, or per charge, should I say. The base price for the Signature Series, a limited edition version of the car that hundreds of people have reserved, is $132,000 if you got it, before a federal tax credit or any state or local incentives. Standard equipment on the all-wheel drive Model X includes Falcon Wing rear doors with built-in sensors for opening in garages of any height, a rear hitch for bikes and skis, free long-distance travel on Tesla's expanding supercharger network, and parking sensors and blind spot warning, automatic emergency braking, and power-folding heated side mirrors. The Signature Series comes with so-called autopilot features such as self-parking, air suspension, satellite radio, ventilated leather seats with heating and cooling, 3 independently operated in adult-size second-row seats, and a flat-folding 2-adult third-row seat. What more could you ask for? And good news in Toledo. Fiat Chrysler has decided to keep making the Jeep Wrangler in Toledo, Ohio, move production of the Jeep Cherokee to a nearby state, and build a Jeep pickup. Automotive News has learned independently that Jeep will make a Wrangler-based pickup in Toledo, a move that will soften the blow of a transferred Cherokee, Jeep's best-selling vehicle. Sergio Marchione said that the automaker has found a solution to how to best expand production of the Wrangler in Toledo. Automotive News has confirmed that the plan includes building a long-sought Wrangler-based pickup likely in 2017 or 2018. That vehicle is under development. The plan would require the unibody plant, locally known as Toledo North, to be converted to a body-on-frame assembly. The redesigned Wrangler would launch there. Loss of the Cherokee is a blow to Toledo, which had sought to keep the vehicle and expand Wrangler production. Though through August, the Cherokee is Jeep's top-selling vehicle in the U.S., averaging 17,600 sales per month. However, that wound may be salved if new vehicles are added to prove as popular. FCA's plan would ensure that Wrangler production would continue while the plant is retooled for the redesigned 2018 Wrangler. The off-roader is one of the automaker's most popular and profitable vehicles. Production of the redesigned Wrangler and pickup is planned to reach 350,000 a year, according to suppliers briefed on the plan. The Cherokee would move likely to Sterling Heights Assembly in Michigan or possibly Belvidere Assembly in Illinois. Both plants are capable of building the Cherokee with little or no retooling, as the Cherokee shares a platform with the Chrysler 200 built in Sterling Heights and the Dodge Dart built in Belvidere. On the recall front, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles is recalling over 206,000 2014 Jeep Cherokee SUVs because of a defect that would cause the windshield wipers to stop working. The recall includes over 158,000 SUVs in the U.S., over 18,000 in Canada, and over 3,500 in Mexico, and over 26,000 from outside North America. FCA said it was unaware of any injuries or accidents related to the defect. Dealers will install a ground strap to the module to eliminate static buildup at no cost to customers, the company said, and FCA will notify affected Cherokee drivers to schedule the repair. Well, that's all for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.